Thank you for joining me at Designs of Value Online Art School. Today we're going to talk about setting up your palette paper and how to blend a value scale. So you're going to need your bent-handled palette knife, which is really nice because it keeps your hand out of the paint. It has a skinny blade so you can blend as you go. It makes life easier. You're going to need your palette paper. Mine's gray so you can see it a little bit better. And then what I've done with that palette paper is I've gone ahead and I've marked off all the colors. And this is the way I set up my palette paper every single time I sit down to paint. These are the colors that I use. I very seldom vary from this. You've got titanium white, cad yellow pale, red, alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue, and then I took burnt umber and ultramarine blue, mixed them 50-50 and created your black. And here's your burnt umber all by itself. And then you've got your raw sienna and your yellow ochre. So you're going to need some paper towels cut up and your palette knife. So let's get started. We're going to create a value scale so that you can learn how to do the blending process. We're going to take a little bit of blue. Important thing is you need to wipe your palette knife so that now when I go to pick up my white, I'm not contaminating it with the blue, and that's going to keep your colors clear and distinct across the top. And there, I got some yellow on my palette knife, so you want to be sure and wipe that off. You don't want to carry that anywhere else. So now I'm creating a mid-value, and I had just a little bit of blue and a lot of white. We're going to see how that goes. It might not be the value I want for the middle, but I think it's going to be pretty close. The medium or the mid-value is your mass tone. And your mass tone, let's say that you were painting an apple, and it was a green apple, and it was a yellow-green apple. So you want your, try wiping the palette knife again, picking up a little bit more blue. So you want your apple, I'll lay that down here because I think I picked up too much. And when you look at that apple, you want it to be a yellow-green. So that's what the mid value is. That's the color the viewer of what you're painting sees in that item. So you want them to see a yellow green, then you want your mid value to be yellow green. Okay, so now we're going to take, there's my mid value. That's the color I want. I'm going to take a little bit up, move it up to the light. I'm going to take a little bit down and move it down to the dark. All right. Now, since we're already adding some dark, we're just going to go in and add some more here and create the dark value. Now, this isn't going to be the darkest. In fact, that blue right there might be the darkest. So all you're doing is creating a scale up and down. You want the colors to be really close in value. You don't want this to be, so we want to add some of that from this knife onto the darkest too, just to marry them together a little bit. But if you have them far apart as far as value or lightness and darkness, that's what value is, it's much harder to blend. So the closer you are in value, the easier it is to blend. Now what I'm doing is I'm bringing some of these colors up. That's called marrying them. Since there's only the blue and the white on here, I want to get that blended in as best I can. Okay, now I'm going to wipe my palette knife. I'm going to pick up some of the white. We're going to lighten this value. We want it to be lighter than this, but we don't want it to be white. So if we don't have enough, or if it's too much white, which I think is what I did, I'm going to just grab some of that medium, bring it up. That's why I like this skinny blade. There we go. Now we're going to grab some more of this. We're going to bring it up here. Wipe your knife and pick up some more highlight. Now, as a color goes up the value scale and it becomes lighter, you want it to become brighter, lighter, and warmer. So if I were painting, oh, say a vase possibly in these colors, I might want to add just a little bit of yellow, just to make it a touch warmer. We can try that. Just a touch. That's all you really need to do. But it's going to warm it up just enough. Now, as the colors go down the value scale from medium, they get darker and duller. And that's no matter what colors you're trying to create. Let's do another one. Let's say we're going to use some alizarin crimson. That's going to be our darkest value. Move a little bit up and move a little bit up. Be Scotch with your paint. You don't want to use it all up. All right. I don't necessarily want to go white because I'm going to turn pink. So let's do the mid value with a little bit of the red. This always reminds me of a candy red. I don't know why. I like this especially with roses, tulips that are this color. Just a real pretty combination of colors. So I've still got some on my palette knife, which is good because now I want to bring that down here. So I don't want this to be as dark as that. So I did want to bring some of this over. Get it a color between those two. And again, the closer the values are, the easier it will be to blend. Now, if you really wanted this dark to go dark even more, you could pick up just a touch of black, and that will darken it even more. Almost bring it into the purple range, but it really makes a very lovely color. All right, so we're going to take up some of the mid value to our light. So now here we're going to go into the white, just a touch. And turns it a little pink for me on this scale. So I'm going to bring in just a hint of the yellow. And these are things you'll learn as you play with your paints. And what's nice is by using the same colors every time you do this, you get to know what's going to create what. Now, to me, that light is much prettier than the pink that we had with just the white. So I like that touch of yellow in there. Now we're going to do a little bit more. Move it up on top. Grab a little white on my clean palette knife. And again, don't forget, you want to go lighter, brighter, and warmer. Add a touch of the yellow. We'll start with that much and see how it goes. Yep, just tones down that chalkiness of the white. But it seems to be just a little bit bright to me yet, so we're going to pull in off the edges of those other and bring a little bit more color into it. So there we go. Those are your two value scales. practice those. Do one on each one of your colors. Practice, practice, practice. And that's what's going to make your painting skills better. You're going to understand how your colors work together and what makes them look great together. So thank you for joining me today at Designs of Value Online Art School, and I will see you next time for Blending Side by Side.